Hi, my name is Malcolm Clemens Young, and I'm the Dean of Grace Cathedral in San Francisco, California. And this is my video message for the week of November 11th. When the 16th century poet John Donne came back from the wars, he had nowhere to go in society. His father had been an ironmonger and had made enough money so that John had a fantastic education. But his father had also died when he was young, and there was nowhere for him to go in terms of that work. And so he was stuck. On the one hand, all the people he studied with were elites, and he wanted that life himself. But on the other hand, he simply didn't have enough money to be able to live in that kind of way. Fortunately, he was an incredible writer, and his friends loved the poems that he wrote and would pass them around among them. And this led to the attention of Lord Egerton. Lord Egerton was a court official, and Lord Egerton hired John Donne to be his secretary. And he loved the way John wrote and his wit, and he invited him to basically sit at table with them as part of the family meals. And at the same time that this was happening, Lady Egerton had also taken under her wing a young woman named Anne Moore. And Anne and John began to kind of get to know each other as part of the same household. Unfortunately, Anne had to move back to her family home. But one of the times when she came back to London, she and John were secretly married. Now, they married for love, but it had terrible consequences. Anne's family disowned them. Lord Egerton fired John Donne, and they were isolated and ostracized, and they had no way of getting back into society again. And it was a very difficult time for John and Anne. But they had each other, but they did feel isolated from others. And that's why when John Donne writes about isolation, we hear it comes from his heart. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as any manner of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind. And therefore, never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. During those difficult times when they felt cut off from their old life and from their old friends, John still had God. God was so present in his life and sustained him through the terrible and difficult times. And he ultimately got ordained as an Anglican priest, and he became the dean of the most famous cathedral in the world. And we still have his words, his sermons that guide us today. I have no idea where you are or what's going on for you, or whether if you're feeling cut off from the world or too intimately involved in it. But I do know that God loves you, and that God is available to you through prayer, and that God can sustain you through terrible times, and that God can be a source of joy in your life every day. Thank you very much for watching.